weird shit.
Stay back. Stay there.
This first finding was made by a YouTuber known as Happy Hippie during one of his outdoor trips. Happy Hippie had been traveling deep through the Scottish wilderness when he came across a remote bothy called the White Lagan. But unusually, the shelter appeared completely empty upon his arrival. The bothy itself was a simple unlocked refuge, typically free for anyone to use. Upon entering to check for other occupants, he found no one inside.
Oh, nice, bunk beds. Alright, sweet. Nice and cozy. Said I wanted to take up fishing. Someone's left a little homemade fishing rod. Really sweet. You see some pretty weird shit written on doors. That's normally the shit you see. Smoke that shit. And that's a common one. If you can see it, it says fuck Bill Gates. That one, little coordinates. Think I'm gonna go check it out? Hell no. But I'm sure someone's just joking.
He would ultimately begin unpacking and settling in for the night, though aside from a few old clothes, some fire-starting supplies and writing on the walls, there was very little inside. He, however, had no idea that something unexpected was about to occur. His inspection of the bothy took place deep in the Scottish wilderness, and at first, according to him, everything appeared completely normal, but this wasn't going to stay true for long.
I got one of them water filter straws, and it comes with 2 little bags as well, so you can attach the straw to that, but I've not got to use. Oh, maybe this is the guests. There was no one there. I don't know if that's just some people fucking with me or something. I don't know if that's something they do. But I don't think it would be that family. It was just a dad and his daughter and son.
He was completely alone in the bothy when he first heard a sound coming from somewhere inside. Assuming it was another hiker looking for a place to rest, he waited, but nobody came. Then, a loud knocking started at the door.
Just knocking on the door again, and then I went out, but there was no one there, so I don't know what's going on, but I've not heard of any haunted bobbies or anything. I've never had weird shit. Fuck's sake. Just wanted a nice little bobby night. If you've watched all my videos before, you know I don't do shit like this. Fun night.
He stepped outside into the dark tree line to check, but found absolutely nothing there. A few minutes later, he came back inside and tried to settle down, yet heavy footsteps could soon be clearly heard coming from the other room.
And they're walking around into the room, and then I go in there, and it just stops. Maybe I just put my music on really loud and forget about it. Cameraman never dies, right?
These sounds were so distinct, they were actually captured on the video, proving he wasn't just imagining things. The bothy remained completely empty. Whoever or whatever was making the noise stayed hidden, making sure it was never seen. While many thought it was just the wind or an animal, some believed something much stranger was happening. Whether this is true or not is still unknown. In the summer of 2014, a man named Chris was biking in the mountains near Fernie, British Columbia, when he saw something moving in the tall grass. He quickly realized it was a mountain lion and immediately started recording.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's a mountain lion. He's crouching in the grass. He's actually coming towards me.
At first, it's hard to spot the animal, but as Chris moves along the trail, it becomes visible, emerging from the grass and getting closer.
That is a mountain lion. And he's stalking me. This is so crazy.
Mountain lions don't often come across people, but when they do, it can be dangerous. Seeing one creeping through tall grass, watching you carefully, is a clear warning to stay alert. A couple of minutes into the clip, the lion starts moving quicker, and in a panic, Chris makes a critical error. He turns and bolts.
Hey, Mr. Mountain Lion. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I am much bigger than you.
But instead of attacking, the lion suddenly stops, sits down, and watches him leave, disappearing into the wilderness as quietly as it appeared. For the next few minutes, Chris tries to scare the animal off, but it simply circles him, keeping its eyes locked on him from the tall grass at the edge of the forest. After a short while, he carefully moves a few steps toward the main trail leading back to his car. But before he can get far, the mountain lion appears again, blocking his path.
Right here. Right in front of me. Stay back. Stay there. I'm not afraid of you.
After a few tense minutes, the mountain lion finally turned and walked back into the forest. Being that close to such a wild animal must have been scary, especially knowing it could have attacked. Luckily, Chris got away safely, shaken but unharmed. If you enjoyed this encounter, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more chilling stories. In June of 2022, Megan Page decided to go into the woods in Humboldt County, California, to film a story time and clear her head after a difficult few days. She runs a YouTube channel where she shares her life like a personal journal, usually speaking honestly about her thoughts and everyday experiences. While she was recording, something happened that she never saw coming, and things nearly took a bad turn. She had gone there to be alone and reflect, but the situation quickly became unsettling as she continued filming.
So that's why I'm in Humboldt. That's why I'm back in Humboldt. I'm staying at my dad's again, and it's really bad. Every day we've been scream fighting. And then I come to the woods for like 4 hours and decompress. And then I go back home, and then he acts like nothing happens. Like a true narcissist. Like a true narcissist here. Okay, well, you scared me.
Oh, thanks. Okay. Scared to get to walk by and eat the stairs off the line, but something.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm a sweetheart. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm
You're
sorry.
probably more dangerous than me. You're probably more evil than me. Look at the dark hair you're saying. You're bomb. Little stoner.
Okay, that was terrifying.
Because he had simply walked away, this would pretty much mark the moment she decided to leave. Without wasting any time, she gathered her belongings, packed up quickly, and got out of the woods right then and there.
I'm shaking. That was scary. Thought I was just about to get killed. He said that I looked evil. I can't even enjoy the woods because of tweakers. Like, look how beautiful it is here. I love Humboldt, but the tweakers, he was coming right at me. And so obviously I'm gonna be scared. And then he's like, you're probably more scary than me. Your dark hair and your veins. Like, sir, I'm just a cute stoner trying to smoke my weed in the woods.
Still unsettled by the encounter, viewers began searching for an explanation. The following discussions consisted of several different theories about the man's intentions, but none of them could be confirmed. Some believed he was simply passing through the area, while others were convinced he had deliberately approached her. Upon reviewing the footage, certain details stood out. There was no visible path or road nearby, and she appeared to be completely alone. His behavior also seemed to shift once he noticed the camera, as he quickly changed his tone before leaving. Because of how unusual the interaction appeared, leaving the area became the only reasonable choice. Without wasting any time, she gathered her belongings and exited the woods. But whether the man truly meant any harm, or if the situation was simply misunderstood, is still up for debate. To this day, his true intentions remain unknown. At the foot of Mount Fuji in Japan sits a dense woodland locals call the Sea of Trees. The forest formed over a vast field of cooled lava left behind by a major eruption centuries ago. Over time, however, Aokigahara Forest gained a darker reputation as a place where some people go to end their lives. Those who travel deep inside have at times come across human remains. Near the entrance, a sign asks visitors to think of their loved ones and to seek help instead of suffering alone. Back in July 2017, an urban explorer and YouTuber named Burbex uploaded this video to his YouTube channel. The video features Burbex exploring Aokigahara Forest, also known as the Sea of Trees. Burbex set out to document what he might find inside the forest, which is why he was there in the first place. Once he had walked a short distance into the forest, he came across an abandoned bike, and this is where things started to become disturbing.
I'm only a few meters away from the road right now, but I've already found an abandoned bike. It's actually a pretty nice bike. Let's take a look at it. I don't think it's been here a long time. What do we got in here? And there's a packet for a knife. Maybe somebody's going out into the woods to slash their wrists. There's lots of little caves under the forest floor. I think I've just found some kind of note in a bag. It says 1211. I can't quite make out. I think this is somebody's name just here, and I'm not sure what this means.
Because Burbex found the abandoned bike, he had no choice but to keep moving through the forest while recording everything. A few minutes later, he spotted a note inside a plastic bag, but nothing else was around. The note said 11 verified, Fuji Yoshida Police Station verified, showing it had been left by someone and checked by the local police. Whoever left the items had vanished, leaving behind only a quiet reminder that people come here and never return. Many think the forest attracts people who are struggling and alone, but whether that is really true is still unknown. To this day, the full story behind the abandoned belongings in the forest is still a mystery. Back in December of 2018, a man named Darren was deer hunting in the snowy wilderness of Manitoba. It was the final day of the season, and he was hoping to finally spot a buck before the clock ran out. But as he moved through the woods, he realized he wasn't alone, and that's when things took a very dangerous turn.
Well, good morning everyone. Welcome back. It's Darren from Darren's Northern Life. Today is the final day of deer rifle season here in Manitoba. I still have yet to have a buck get in front of my scope, at least in a place where I can shoot him. But anyways, it is about 10 to 7 in the morning. Shooting light starts at 7:38 this morning. So I'm going to go get in position and hope for the best. I'm going to try a new spot today. Maybe this will do the trick.
At first, it seems like a normal afternoon out in the field, but as Darren gets closer to a clearing, he notices a truck parked right in the middle of the land with its cargo lights on. In a hunting environment, seeing activity like this usually means trouble, and Darren suspected these guys were road hunters who didn't have permission to be there.
Well, I just took a walk up to the corner here just to see if there's anything in the field yet. I'll be going back down over here where I stand. But I get here, and wouldn't you know it, there's another person sitting right there in a truck with his cargo light on.
Even though hunting accidents are relatively rare when safety rules are followed, all it takes is one reckless person to turn a hobby into a nightmare. And let's just say, if you're standing in the woods and hear the distinctive whistle of a high-velocity bullet passing right over your head, you can be pretty certain that you're in immediate danger.
Oh my goodness, that bullet just came over my head. Sounded like a hit though.
About 5 minutes into the footage, Another shot rings out, and Darren does the only thing he can.
This guy's gonna frickin' kill me. Shooting right towards me. Oh my goodness. Okay, at least there's some trees between us now. Idiot.
He tries to find cover behind a few thin trees while shouting at the shooters. You can hear the panic in his voice as he realizes they are firing directly in his direction, completely unaware that a person is standing right in their line of fire. Over the next few minutes, Darren stays pinned down, waiting for the shooting to stop so he can safely move. Eventually, under the cover of darkness, he decides to confront the men in the truck to make sure they know exactly what they almost did.
Taking pictures of the license plate. Is something wrong? Everything all right?
Somebody shot at me. I got on video. Literally, a bullet came flipping right over my head.
Two shots earlier, right?
Yeah.
Like around
Shot
4
at you.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Where
Somebody
were you?
walking down the edge of Hugins Field here.
Yeah, there was a guy walking on the end of the trail here.
So I was on the far side. Somebody walked down this side here, and freaking bullet. I seen a deer came out, and I seen a guy walking. And sure enough, boom! You can. It's probably on video too. You can hear the bullet.
No shit.
Well, we were.
Wasn't us. We're over at
No, the first shot wasn't hit because it half a mile later it was still way up in the air. It sounded like a hit. I know it sure sounded like it. It
Did ever?
Yeah.
Fortunately, after a few moments of tension during the confrontation, the situation ends without further violence. Being in a position like that has to be downright terrifying, especially when you consider that the only reason Darren wasn't hit was pure luck. Had the bullet's trajectory been just a few inches lower, it easily could have been fatal. Thankfully, it was just a close call, and he was able to walk away from the reckless encounter unharmed. Arnold Outdoors uploaded this video to YouTube in 2021. The footage is from a winter camping trip he took with a friend in a quiet part of the Pacific Northwest. The trip was meant to explore the forest, enjoy off-grid camping, and share the experience with his viewers. But on February 12th, something happened that was completely unexpected.
We are out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, kinda.
You hear that?
Yeah, what was that, a gunshot?
Gunshot or a vehicle? Vehicle. Or Bigfoot's fucking screaming. There's day, dude. Sound like a vehicle on a gravel road.
I caught it on the camera.
Hopefully that was freaky sounding.
Ears up, yeah.
Twice, loud as hell.
Almost sound like gunshots.
It did almost sound like gunshots echoing. But there's lots of people out here.
Definitely a gunshot.
Close. Really close. Like within a mile.
Probably within fucking half a mile.
It sounds like a 22 and it sounds like it's coming from that way.
Sounds like it's coming from behind you.
It's 11:30. Someone must be going to bed. Shooting guns off before they go to bed or something.
Scare all the coyotes off.
Sounded like a 22 to me.
Arnold, however, knew he couldn't ignore what was happening. The moment took place a few minutes into the night, and according to Arnold, the headlights themselves did not look like they had been there by accident.
Let's turn that off.
Yeah, go. Yeah. You want to get it?
You can do it.
Yeah, it sounded like a vehicle to me. It's revving up.
Oh.
They're right fucking there, dude.
I like driving around shooting.
Hooting and hollering and shooting. It's teenagers hooting and hollering. Kill the lights. They might shoot at us. Kill it and get low. For real.
In a rush, they cut all the lights as the figures outside edged closer, and that's when things started getting stranger for them. The whole idea behind the cameras was to capture footage of the different wildlife around the campsite to upload online. But on the night the group moved on, the cameras around Arnold's camp caught something completely out of the ordinary.
Fire! Where? It's like, fire, don't fire. God dang, right there. No. I'm pretty sure he said fire. The one dude said where? And then he said, God dang, right there.
Yeah,
pointing towards
like
our
a
fire.
Yeah.
Like they saw our fire. The camera's still rolling.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Some believe the shooters were just passing through, but that doesn't explain the tracks left under the full moon as Arnold and his friend checked the road. Somehow, after that night, Arnold never saw the group again. And that's all for today's video. Which one shocked you out the most? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit that bell. I've got plenty more encounters coming. Thanks for watching.